Hello and welcome to the Morning Serve. Thanks to TikTok, we have a very special edition today, joined by Leighton Hewitt and the man of the moment, John Millman, after that epic 5-set win through to the second round. John, congratulations. How are you feeling? Can you describe that experience for us?
Well, I'm a little tired today. I'm not going to lie, but fantastic. You know, playing out on show court 3, such an intimate court, but the crowd really got behind me and dragged me over the finish line there. It was special. I know Leighton actually told me, you know, this is your court, best of 5, you can do it. And, you know, I proved to myself and maybe a few others that I could.
Well, we mentioned in commentary that it seems to be whenever you're on court here, it has to be a 5-setter. And we're always talking about your grit and determination. Do you enjoy that reputation?
Yeah, I enjoy it more when I win because I've lost a couple of 5-setters also. But look, I know that I'm going to bring a level of physicality and at least make it a really tough out for my opponents. And sometimes you get the rub of the green and things go your way. And really, I can't underestimate that crowd. That crowd support that you get in Australia is phenomenal. It really gives you that momentum to get you over the finish line.
Well, we were riding every point, but Leighton, how was that for you watching? And I know you're so proud of all of the Aussie tennis players that we have, but can you describe the emotions for us?
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Going into it, I knew if it went the distance, then it was going to go in Johnny's favour. And he does all the hard work. He does all the preparation to give himself the best chances in these tough conditions here at the Australian Open at Melbourne Park. And I was just thrilled for him. You know, as your career goes on later and later, you appreciate moments like he got yesterday. And I was just really proud to be an Australian and they're supporting him. And fantastic that he gets the opportunity through to the second round of his home Grand Slam.
And it's a big one up against Daniil Medvedev. I know because you're so humble, I won't ask you, but Leighton, where do you think he can get the better of Medvedev in the second round?
Oh, well, he's obviously a quality player. He's played extremely well the last 4 or 5 years now, and he's a tough baseliner. But this guy's tough from the back of the court as well. So he's got to be prepared to take it on when the opportunity's there. He's got to try and use his angles as much as possible. We know Medvedev likes to stand a long way back in the court, but he's got to be up for the fight. And that's one thing that 100% he'll be ready for it tomorrow. I hope so anyway, won't you, mate?
No, thank you. Thanks for asking that question because I wanted to actually pick his brain after this and try to get the edge on Daniil. But we all know that, you know, he's one of the best players in the world right now, and I'm lucky to have played some of the best ones, and it's where you can really test where your game's at. And to be able to do so in Australia is going to be another one for the memory bank, a real positive snapshot in my career.
He gave you a big rap in his post-match press conference, said he'll have to be very cautious of you. Is that nice to hear from a player of his calibre?
He kind of has to. I think he would have got booed if he didn't. So, look, I hope that you know, I built up a reputation of hopefully being a tough out. I'll leave it all out there, and if he's too good, he's too good. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go in there knowing that it's 0-all on the scoreboard to start off with, not play anyone's reputation and do what I can control and make it a real fist of it.
We'll all be right behind you. But let's for a moment talk about Nick Kyrgios after he's had to pull out. Have you spoken with him?
I haven't. I actually spoke to him just before I went out on court, and I had no indication that he was going to pull out. I think it's a bit of a blow to the tournament. There's no doubt he put together a really good 2022. Consistently performed throughout the year and went deep at that Wimbledon. So he was a real challenger at this title. I'm sure that he'll get himself ready and hopefully we'll see him in the future competing at these big events. But look, there's plenty of other stories and there's plenty of other names that I think we'll get to see over the next 2 weeks.
Well, you mentioned all of the Aussies that we are looking forward to seeing in action, and our TikTok moment of the day is that first round match. Olivia Gadecki getting her first win at a Grand Slam. The scenes were absolutely incredible.
The first Australian through to the second round of this year's Australian Open. You can hardly believe it.
I actually can't believe it. I mean, wow, I'm speechless. I mean, such an amazing crowd. I mean, home slam, my first ever Grand Slam main draw win. I mean, a girl could only dream, you know.
Yeah, it was a beautiful hug at the end when you won. Introduce us to your mum.
This is my mum, obviously, Natalia. She's, you know, sacrificed and dedicated a lot of time and effort into my career. So this win really means a lot. And
how much does it mean to you?
Oh, it's a lot. It's amazing feeling. I'm so proud of her. I'm so glad that she she's perceiving this and keep going and striving. And today we witnessed all of that. So I'm so glad.
Olivia Gadecki, what a moment it was. Such a bright future ahead of her. John, I have to ask you, as one of the fellow Aussie players out there, what was your reaction and the emotions when you see her get that first Grand Slam win?
No, brilliant. We all remember our first Grand Slam win, and it's one that sticks with you. I've got to say, I've seen Olivia train. She trains up in Brisbane, and in terms of ball striking, she can actually match it with anyone in that women's draw. She is a pure striker of the ball. When she's on her game and she's moving well, and that's the key. I think she's improved her movement. She's working with Dirk Spitz up in Brisbane, and I think her movement's getting better and better. And if she can get herself into her points with her movement and she can get that time on the racket, she's a clean ball striker. So she's got those weapons where she can go deep here.
Do you remember your very first win at a Grand Slam?
Gee whiz, I should. I remember my first loss out here, 7-5 in the fifth. But no, look, it was actually at Wimbledon. I qualified at Wimbledon. I beat Tommy Robredo. He was a seed. I think I might have won one before at Aussie, but yeah, that was one that stuck with me. First round win at Wimbledon.
And Leighton, rewinding back
That's a long time ago, guys. He won't be able to remember.
Rewinding back just a little bit further, if you can remember too, not only your first Grand Slam win, but for someone only 20 years old as well, it's a lot to suddenly deal with the spotlight. I mean, the money, 150K for that first round. I mean, how do you deal with all of that at such a young age? Because you had a lot of spotlight on you from the very beginning.
Yeah, you've got to try and enjoy it as much as possible, though. Still think about the things that you've got to do to go out there and get the results, and that's doing all the training, the recovery. She's still in the middle of the tournament, so your focus can't look too far ahead. But I tell these guys, after those big wins, enjoy it for that night. You work so hard to give yourself these opportunities. You want to try and enjoy it with your close-knit team that know all the hard work that you've put in to be in a position like this. The following day, on your day off, that's the time to start thinking about your next round.
And Rinky, Hijikata. John, we loved your match, so I'm not playing favourites, but I think that might have been the most incredible atmosphere at the end. Melbourne Park was erupting.
Yeah, it was great. Rinky has come and been an Orange Boy at the Davis Cup, so we know the kind of tennis player he is, but he brings a lot of energy, a lot of intensity every time. And obviously going down 2-0 to get his first win at his home Grand Slam in such a big event from 2-0 down. That's what I talk about, Aussie pride and ticker and showing a lot of heart out there. And we couldn't be prouder of the younger guys coming through and being able to, special moments for them to be able to do it here in front of their family and friends and the coaches and people that put in a lot of effort away from, the TV cameras.
There have been so many special moments, a few quirky moments as well. John, not sure if you caught this one, but with Rafael Nadal, the racket being accidentally stolen. Have you ever seen something like that before?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure if Jack Draper's team was in on that one. Maybe they paid off the ball kids, but we all know Rafa has his quirks, his idiosyncrasies, but yeah, that's one I've never seen before. He had his racket out that he was playing with, wanted to get the other one sent to the stringer, but the ball kid took the wrong one. And Rafa, unbeknownst to him, goes to play, and then he let everyone know about it, didn't he? But look, it seemed to work. The racket, I think he managed to get it back, but it seemed to work. He got the win, and this tournament's better off having Rafa still in the draw.
1,000,000%. And then he did have slight complaint about the balls, that they weren't bouncing as well as he would have liked. What are your thoughts and what have you experienced out there?
Well, Rafa wants those balls to really bounce. The way he plays, he hits with such heavy top spin, and when you have those new balls, they really jump off the court. Now, balls are going to wear. There's not a modern tennis ball that doesn't wear. I still think they're quite a lively ball. I think you get plenty out of them, especially on these warm days. But Rafa did say that he thinks it favours those flat hitters a little bit more. But I'm sure as Rafa grows into the tournament, he'll get more and more used to the conditions, and I'm sure the balls won't be much of a factor.
He is the defending champion, 22 Grand Slam titles. If it's not going to be one of the Aussies, Leighton, who do you think can really challenge Rafa? Or do you think he's still got what it takes to go back-to-back?
I think, like John said, I think he's got to play himself into the tournament. I don't think we've probably seen his best tennis so far over this summer, the first couple of weeks in Australia. And, that was a tough first-round match, though, against Jack Draper as well. So he would be very relieved to get through in 4 sets in that one. He's got another tough match against Mackenzie McDonald in the second round. So he's got his hands full at the moment. Novak Djokovic, though, you know, he's owned this place. He's owned Rod Laver Arena, especially playing at night. That 7 o'clock time slot for him, he's so hard to beat out there on centre court. So he's going to be the player to watch, I think, as the tournament builds up.
Any final words to John before the big second round match?
Enjoy it, mate. Fire up. He'll leave it all out there, and all of Australia's extremely proud, mate.
Thanks, mate.
We're proud of you. Do you have any final messages for all of the fans out there? Because I tell you what, you would have had hundreds of thousands watching there at home, riding every single point.
No, I've had plenty of supportive messages, and I really appreciate that. But look, tennis is back. Yeah, we had a couple of years in the wilderness with COVID, but the crowds are back in their droves, and the Aussies are absolutely loving it.
We are all loving it, and we'll be riding you all the way. Leighton and John, thank you so much. And thank you all so much for joining us here on The Morning Serve, thanks to TikTok.